District Library, and today I'm at the Petal Company for another installation of our how-to videos. So let's go on in and smell the roses. Hi everyone, it smells so good in here. This is the Petal Company, and today I'm with Sarah, the owner of Petal Company, and she is going to demonstrate how to make a beautiful floral arrangement. So I'm going to turn it over to Sarah, and she will show you what you need to know.
Hey everybody, I'm going to talk to you today about how to make arrangements. Now is the perfect time, right before the frost comes, to be able to make arrangements in your own home. Whether you come pick up loose stems from a florist in your area, or if you have flowers that you're growing at home. So you can start with using any type of vase that you want. Depending on the vase is kind of the size of flowers that you'll want to choose to put into the vase. This is nice, a shorter one for your table arrangements, so that if people are sitting at your table, you are not talking through the flowers and you can see over top of them. Taller vases, we use these for items that would be set out of the way. Arrangements that would be on an end table, on a counter, somewhere where you wouldn't have to continually look over top of them. So we're going to just start by just giving you some basics and talking about a few different stems that are used on a daily basis. One of the things that you'll see that we use the most is called leather leaf. It looks similar to a fern, and we use this as kind of our base starter for all of our flower arrangements. It kind of sets our stage for what we're going to do. It holds all the flowers in place. It also makes a nice backdrop so that you can see the stems that you're putting inside of it, and it really makes the blooms stand out. So when you start putting greens into a vase, you'll always want to, and this is true for every stem that you're going to cut, you're always going to cut on an angle. The reason why you do that is so that the water can go up the stem without it getting suffocated on the bottom of your vase. Now when you put your greens in, you're going to just kind of crisscross them through. You can start seeing them come through the bottom of the vase on a crisscrossed angle. And that just, like I said, kind of sets our stage for the blooms that we're going to put into it. When I do arrangements, I have to look at them, but you are more than welcome to kind of turn them however it works for you to be able to see what you're doing. One thing with ferns, you'll notice, I keep running my hand on the stem, there is it's almost like a seed that's on the bottom of the stems, and so you want to take that off so that you don't have a debris in the bottom of your water. It just makes the water look murky. The nice thing is when we set the stage for your greens, what's gonna hold your blooms, if you ever needed to take these out to put fresh water in, these are all crisscrossed in, so you don't really have to redo the whole arrangement if you needed to put fresh water into it. So when you're starting, I always start with what I call my attention seeker flowers, the flowers that are going to be the focal point of the arrangement, and that's what I always start with. So today we have a few different flowers that we're going to work with. One of them is a dahlia, which is super popular in the fall time. This is actually a locally grown flower from Allegan. We work with a gal, her name is Sarah, and she owns a grower farm called Sunset Farms. She's on Instagram and Facebook, and she grows lots of different flowers. We get lots of our flowers from her during this time of year. So when you start with your arranging your flowers, you will want to, and I do it visual, I'm a very visual person, you will stand your stem up and kind of see how much do I need to cut off, because if you do cut too much off, it could kind of mess with the way that your arrangement looks. So I always put mine towards the edge of a table and kind of hold it where I want it to be, and then I cut that stem. And again, you always cut it on an angle. And then you stick that in there. And so those greens, you can see already, it holds that dahlia to be the star of the show. If you didn't have greens, some people use a clear tape on top of their vases, but we like to do it a more natural way by using our greens in that kind of a manner. So obviously the dahlia will be the star of this arrangement, and then we start using our different flowers that just highlight this flower, such as roses, carnations. You can use several different kinds of flowers to help highlight that showstopper, I guess is what we like to call it. You can see I'm pulling petals off of roses. Sometimes when you get flowers, the outside petals are not the freshest because they've been kind of beat up in the transition of getting them from our grower. So we will pick those off. It doesn't hurt the flower at all. It actually helps the flowers open up a little bit more. And so we often do that with roses. Now, whenever we see thorns on roses, we do take those off. There's a couple different ways that you could do it. This is a stripper, and so if you just pull it down, it actually takes off all the thorns. It evens them out. Or you can always use your clippers and just cut them off. So we of course have our focal point, and then you always do things in odd numbers. So when you're adding in flowers, you'll do 3, 5, 7, so you always pick an odd number. I'm gonna do 3 for this one. Then we're gonna add in some more dahlias, because dahlias are this season. And these, again, we'll do these in odd numbers, just so that your focal point seems even when you're looking at things. While I'm finishing this up, it is good to always put flower food in your arrangements, and that is because the flowers, once they're cut, we stop their growth process, especially when we put them into our coolers. This stops their growth process as well, and they need a restart on their growth. And to do that, the flower food gives them the nutrients that they may need. They will get some from sunlight, indirect sunlight, but it is good for you to put flower food into your arrangements. We use a Floral Life Crystal Clear in all of our water that gets put into our vases. We also use that when we put it into our cooler. When you purchase flowers from the Petal Company, we also send you home with a packet. So when you get flowers from us, you would already have flower food in here. If you're doing something at home, if you don't have flower food, just adding a little bit of sugar, well, it changes it to sugar water. Just make sure it's mixed in really well, and that helps your flowers just preserve them and last a little bit longer. But when you come here, we will send you home with some plant food so you can change out your water. So as you can see, we have all of our focal flowers in there. And we're ready to start using a filler. For fillers, you can use baby's breath. That's one of the most common ones. Another one that we use is called limonium, and it's just another filler flower. It's a little bit less noticeable than baby's breath. Baby's breath kind of sticks out a little bit more, and limonium just gives you a nice soft touch to be able to help those flowers stand up, to give it a little bit of texture, and also add some color and some depth to your arrangement. Now, if you are not getting your flowers from a flower shop, you can use different things in your yard. I've even picked, they look like weeds at my house, to put in there as a filler flower, because it's really not necessary to have a filler flower, but as you can see, it just starts adding to the texture of the arrangement. And then to finish off your arrangement, you can use as much filler flowers as you want to. You can add more stems to this. This is more of a loose look. To finish up our flower arrangements, it's always nice to add ribbon to your arrangement, just so that you can just give it a different texture. It kind of finalizes the arrangement. You can do a simple bow, or you can do, and I'll show you here in a second, you can do a larger bow, just depending on kind of the look that you're looking for. So we also do bows that look like this, and these are kind of like a corsage type bow, but it just adds another texture again to the arrangement. And those are easily done. You can watch a YouTube video on it, but basically you just do 8 different loops, you wire it in the middle, and you tie it around the center. So super easy to do. To keep your flowers lasting longer, you'll want to change out the water every 1 to 3 days. Again, using more fresh flower food. If you start noticing that one of the stems on the bottom is looking a little bit brown or green, you can just take that stem out, cut the stem off, and again, always cut it at an angle to give it a fresh new way to absorb the water. Sometimes what happens is the end of the stem may have gotten crushed when we cut it, and so the water isn't able to flow through the stem. So giving it a fresh cut will allow the water and the food to get back into your arrangement.
Sarah, this is gorgeous, and I learned so many new things about making a flower arrangement that I will be using at home as well. So thank you so much, and thank you for watching, and please come to the Petal Company. It is beautiful, and there are so many things to look at and purchase. So I hope you come and visit Sarah at the Petal Company. Thank you again.
Thank you, it was a pleasure.